everyone, it's Libby from Meister's Guidance. I'd like to acknowledge the Warramai First Nations people on whose traditional lands these videos are made, and a huge welcome to you, your guides, my guides, and the universal energies. As you know, I do a or for those that are familiar with the channel, I do a pre-reading protection where I line my chakras up, light them up, send the light out into the universe, and bring back the white universal energies and light to form a protective bubble around myself. I pre-shuffle. You don't need to watch me for 20 minutes shuffling cards. And the idea of these videos is for you to scroll through if there is a particular image or a title that catches your attention, that is your guides at this particular time, prompting you to watch that video. So really interesting card this morning. It is a topic, using my Namaste deck, the topic that I have been thinking about quite a bit recently, and then David Johnson from Moonrise did a channeling on this very topic that I watched this morning, and it really resounded with me as to the message that us light workers are trying to impart to the rest of humanity at this time. So the card that's popped out, I think I've had this card before. It is a familiar looking image, but it may be a variation on an image that we've had before. And the reading is, if you feel that something is missing, look within and you will find it. What is your heart saying? Your heart is the gateway to your soul, and your soul is the eternal you. Know that you are free, protected, and blessed. I'll just hold that up if you want to pause and read it for yourself. But what I'm really feeling at the moment, and I do have family relatives that are struggling with this at the moment, is that they are looking outside of themselves for solutions to their spiritual confliction rather than looking within. And this is the basis of a lot of religion as well, is that religion sprung up from, during the medieval times, sprung up from the need to control, and that need to control came from saying that the populace had to talk to the religious leaders to be able to talk to God, and that regardless of your religious bent or your spiritual evocation, is that is completely wrong. You have God or spirit, universal energy within, and it's very much about looking within rather than without for solutions and acceptance and self-spirituality. So I shall bring you down and we shall see what Naryn is wanting us to expand on for this reading. These are my Australian Wildflower cards. So if you feel that something is missing, look within and you will find it. What is your heart saying? Your heart is the gateway to your soul, and your soul is your eternal you. Cattlebush. Persistence. This card's been coming up a lot lately, especially when I have been doing some videos about getting in touch with your spiritual guides themselves. Everybody has a spirit guide, some have several, and there are others that pop in and out quite regularly. But persistence. It won't happen overnight, your connection with your guides, but it will happen. Challenge. Oh, again, another card that does come up regularly, challenge. So if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. But the challenge is to let go of the physical. Thank you, Naryn. He's telling me it's about letting go of the physical, letting go of the external. It is all about being in connection internally with your soul, and therefore with spirit. And creativity, Grevillea. Thank you, Noreen. So what he's telling me in regards to this is be creative in the way that you connect with your spirit guides, because, and therefore the universal energy, because my way of doing the connection, the giving out of the chakra light and accepting it back to form a bubble around myself, is not necessarily what will work for you. It is being that the connection with spirit, the connection with the universal energy is incredibly unique, and it is very much about finding your own path, your own way. Your spirit guides will guide you in how to do the traditional invoking of the universal energies and the protection. So it is about trying different options to see what works for you, and you will immediately recognize when you find your own method. So persistence. Persistence is about trying again and again and again. But the challenge is letting go of the external, letting go of preconceptions, letting go of traditional methods that you may have had that are not working. If they're working, fantastic, stick with them. But it is about challenging you to intimately, is the word Noreen is giving me, intimately connect with your spirit guides, and be creative, because it will be an individual way that you connect. And I'd love to hear in the comments about how you each connect with your guides, because others may find inspiration from that. My method is not your method. Parts of my method may work, but this is very much about being creative in your own way. Okay, under persistence we have shift your energy. Yes, very much part of this persistence and the challenge and the creativity will bring about a shift in your energy, but also part of the process is shifting your energy, forgetting all that you have learnt before. If you have not yet been in contact with your guides, if you have not yet touched your guides, if you have not yet found the way to connect with your guides, it is very much about shifting your energy to a new focus, a new direction. And you will feel the shift in energy under this persistence. So what Noreen is telling me is that it is very much, if you are not connecting with your guides in the way that you are currently doing so, shift the energy and try a different method. Try a different way. Try a different location. Try a different opening. Just way that you open up. Okay, under challenge, expansion. Yes, love it. By shifting your energy, you will feel, it's actually quite scary at first. I can speak from experience. I'm not saying it's all puppy dogs and rose petals, because this actual shift in energy, when it occurs for you the first time, the second time, the third time, it can be really scary. And what I found is that with each time that I connected into the universal energies and my guides, I expanded. But some of that expansion wasn't necessarily a good thing. I had to learn to protect myself from mischievous energies. I don't like the sage particularly often, very often nowadays, because I don't need to, because I have managed to clock in, that's an interesting term, Noreen, clock in with the universal energies and the guides without the mischievous ones coming through. But each time you connect with your guides, especially in that first 6 months, you will feel your energy shift and expand. And under creativity we have adventure. Oh yes, see it as an adventure, embrace it as an as an adventure. Thank you, Noreen. See the creativity and the different ways that you can connect if it's not working for you straight up, or just even over the 6 months, or perhaps even 12 months that you are entering into this energy. Look at it as an adventure, an exciting adventure, an adventure to be explored. Part of my process in the first 6 months was talking to all the additional guides that came through during that initial period. They were old work colleagues who I had a spiritual connection with. They were grandparents. They were other relatives, but they were also some guides that I had no idea who they were. It was all part of the adventure. I also explored looking at okay, you've probably heard it before, a friend who had been visited by a spirit when staying several times with a friend of hers who I don't know particularly well, that lived in an old homestead. And part of the adventure and the expansion of my spirituality was researching this particular spirit, finding out who they were, connecting with them through the cards, through just talking with them, being open to them, through what I was feeling, through what I was hearing. And that was really exciting. I enjoyed that. And what it came to eventually was that particular spirit who died back in the late-ish 1800s, she just wanted to be remembered. And once she was remembered, she moved on. But boy, it was exciting. I have photographs of her headstone. I have a copy of her obituary. I did a family tree leading back to her parents who came out as convicts. Learned a lot about the property she was on. It was all part of the adventure that was expanding my energy with the spiritual realm, and it then opened me up to be able to experience past lives and to look into future lives, and just my whole physical being on this world with and its connection with the universe. Boy, it was incredible. So this is a process that you will go through, but you will go through in your own individual way. Just because I expanded this method does not mean that it will be your expansion. So don't face it with fear. Face it with adventure and exhilaration. So under Shift Your Energy, Trust. Very powerful card. Very, very true. Trust. Faith in the power of the universe. So this is part of this expansion, part of the energy shift for you. Part of the persistence is have faith. I know faith has, as a word, has been bandied around and misaligned. I'm going to say almost abused in many ways because of declarations of faith, accusations of faith. This is faith in the negative, those accusations and declarations and allegiances. I'm not talking about those sorts of faith. This is just simple, very, very simple faith, trust in the universal energy, in the universal light, and trust in your guides that will come through for you. And it is within. Your heart is the gateway to the soul, and the soul is the eternal you. Look within. You do not need anyone externally to dictate how you connect with the universe, the energy, and your guides. So under expansion, challenge and expansion, we have create. exactly what Narim was saying. Create. Nurture your creative energy. Your connection with the universe and your guides is unique to you. Nurture it. Bring it forth. Immerse yourself in it. Accept it. Nurture your creative connection through the adventures that you will be presented. And once you are in that space, boy, it's wonderful. Okay, under creativity and adventure. Hard work. Okay, commitment and perseverance. Thank you, Nurin. What he's telling me, it's not so much hard work, but if you have a look at the images with the bees here, think about how many bees it takes to create 100 grams of honey. It is a constant connection, a constant back and forth, a constant connecting in is what I'm being told. So it is about commitment and perseverance, especially when you're starting. And, okay, thank you. What I find, if you find that you are short of time during the day, and yes, I know, streaming television shows, kids, cooking, working, everything that goes, being the taxi to the sporting events, etc. Everything crowds in, and you need that unwind time. What I have found that works for me, and this is about you finding that what works for you, is basically last thing at night, as I go to sleep, I just say hello to my boys, hello to my guides, and just ask them if there is anything that they need me to know. So this is about creating a habit to connect with your guides. And what you find is after this hard work and commitment, it becomes second nature, and you do then find that your guides are there at all times, and if they need to let you know about anything, they are there at all times to let you know. But this is about creating the habit of the connection so that when they do need to let you know, they can do so, and you will listen. Beautiful cards. If you feel something is missing, look within and you will find it. It all comes from within. What is your heart saying? Your heart is the gateway to your soul, and your soul is the eternal you. Your soul is the connection with universe, the connection with your guides, and the connection with eternity, the eternal you. The you that has had past lives, the you that will have future lives, it is all within. So we'll just finish up with a Work Your Light card just to summarise what we've learned here today, what we've been talking about today. So Marin, please, one final card. So he's given me two cards. Interesting. Don't dim your light. Don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? Don't block yourself to your spirit, your heart, soul, spiritual connection, because you may feel that it is perhaps unexpected. This is a very personal journey that you will be on, and surprisingly enough, if you move around the edges with some people in regards to your personal journey, you'll actually find a lot of people are at different stages of this journey as well. So don't fit your light to do a preconceived fitting in. Found out a couple of weeks ago that my grandmother, who passed away at 103, but very sadly, I didn't know this before she passed, used to conduct seances back in the 1920s. Boy, I wish I knew. She was always considered fae, but I didn't realise the depth of her spirituality. So don't dim to fit in, because you will find connections that you were not expecting by just allowing yourself, allowing your connection to be, and have it as, don't push it on others. Oh, goodness me, don't push it on others, because that is then bordering into religion. We are talking about spirituality here. And very much, as Naryn has pointed out in this reading today, it is all about finding your own path. But this is about finding your connection, making it part of your entire life on a very personal level, but also being a safe space where others who are going through this process can come to. And the other card Naryn wanted me to bring to your attention was the initiation. Rite of passage, crossing the threshold. So this process of being in connection with your guides and the universe is very much about a path that you will follow to cross the threshold into the light. So thank you for joining me. Absolutely fabulous to have you along today. Love you all. Take care. Look after yourselves.